And let me just do sound check. Oh, advert, great. We'll have to wait a few seconds. There's this fat kid in the advert. Sound test. There's this fat kid. Alright, that should be good. Let me burst this link. And welcome to Monaco. Obviously. Let me just do it at everyone. For le top tier. Let me just ping everyone real quick. Right. Welcome to Monaco again. So this is the third week in a row that we're racing in Monaco instead of Canada this time, I believe. Let me just pull chat up. I know the session started. Yes. Let me just do this. Well, I'll present not that. I'll present the results first. There we go. Have a look at it. 5, 4, 3, 2.5, 1. Alright, and there's the standings. So it's getting tight at the top between Thomas Enger and TF10 after 9 rounds, with 6 to go. Obviously now being Canada. And also it's getting tight for the driver standings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, now, no, we're going to do this. To stop preview. To press F4. Not do that. And there we go. Okay. Let me get this up. Oh, there we go. Right. Well, it's dry. For qualifying anyway. Right, what's Max Ring wanting? Max Ring might join us. Let's go. He's on his way from work. Right. We'll get a second commentator the first time in about 10 years. Obviously not 10 years, but you get the point. It's obviously the other flipping Mercedes, and I can't select the other Mercedes because my keyboard doesn't want to. Of course. Look, I got a wheel. Haha. Right. Nah, that's a clean how's that not invalid already? I mean, it says out there, but like, you know. I look like a clean corner cut on my end. And the screen freezes back. Let's go. Well, I'll try to fix it again. Going very slowly. Already brake dragging, Mr. JST. Racing last night in PSGL F4 and getting the puncture L. Let's go then with JST. Alright. On his way to start his lap. Car's coming out the pit lane. Should clear him easily. Turn number 1 shouldn't be a huge distraction. He's got some clean track ahead of him. Until that McLaren. Ooh! Hitting the wall, but obviously no consequences because the game is weird. 19-4, I have genuinely no idea if that's a good first sector or not. We'll see at the end of the lap. I think he's backed out, you know. He has. Well, I don't know who's next to cross the line. Genuinely. So we are going to go with Monsieur René Klein. Obviously a British citizen now, of course, according to TTM Wordle. May or may not have given him a setup for a race, but that's, you know, not the point. And out of the hairpin. DRS open. Got a little distance. No, never mind. Maybe? Oh, a little bit, like a few thousand to a slipstream. Into the chicane. How much is he going to send it? He's going to send it a bit. Not too bad, to be fair. Run into the line. Bang. Oh. Well, no, that's not a very good time, though, is it? 8.7. Jake Stewart with a 9.0. Ay, ay, ay. Not great times. Dennis Kamensky's on his way. Watch him just for now. No, Marcel Paps has spun. And he's hit the barrier somewhere, I believe. He's lost his front wing. Or an end plate. They're on the right-hand side. Simon Pfeiffer goes second. With Vroom going fourth. And that's Tristan Jensen. With an 8.362. That's a great banker to start off the session. We'll go back with Dennis. Nope. With Dennis Kamensky. There we go. On his way, and he's invalidated. RIP. A lot of invalidation surely on this banker because, you know, it is Canada, I guess. So you can invalidate very easily. Carl Vergees, 87,000 for his teammate, is currently a TRT 1-2 here. Next cross line is a Hazard Speedy going third. I have zero camera direction here. We'll go on board with Axel then. I feel like it. Why not? Lucas Basner goes fastest. 8.792. Let's see what can Monsieur AMS Axel do. Last corner looked very neat. And the cross line goes sixth fastest for AMS. I can see behind his Red Bull of Yachu going seventh. Monsieur René Klein giving us some weather indications. Apparently there is some wet stuff coming down to the circuit. Smacked it to my server. It's Tristan. Comes across the line. Seventh fastest. Why is no one in chat? There's not been a single chat. Say something. Please. Thank you. Well, I'll just reset it in case that's just some people chatting. I'm not seeing it. Hang on. That's Monsieur. I'm doing this from my wheel, by the way. With Monsieur Marcel Pats. Let me select it. There's someone in chat I can see. And how can I hide this? But it's behind a pinned. Man. Oh well, whatever. Well, Monsieur Marcel Pats on his way to have another go. That's the first year with Max Ring. That's crazy. Anyway, Marcel on his way. Start in his lap. Here we go. A little bit of traffic potentially by the kick. Sauber might let him go. Might let not go. He's not going to let him go. And he's invalidated. GG's. Was that Monsieur René Klein? That wasn't Monsieur René Klein. That was Christian Error. No. Christian. Not Clausen. Error. There we go. That's René Klein. Monsieur Washed. Comes to start his second lap. He's got a time on the board at least he can compare himself to. And here we go. Right. I have a nice voice. Why thank you. Mr. Rennie Klein into turn number 2 on his way out, being super cautious. The Frotzel, yeah. Backs out immediately. Not having it. Gonna go again. He's got the fuel too, so might as well. Well, then it'll be Christian, not Clausen, error. He's gonna start his lap. I'm definitely saying it wrong. 100%. Had your spun. Alright, thanks, Aiden. Christian into turn number 1. A little bit of traffic there with the Red Bull, one of the VRE drivers. Don't know which one, to be honest. There's a lot of traffic actually behind and will be ahead. Aye. Sector 1, 19.4. Aye. Not a good start. From what I know anyway. Little bit of traffic here. Might be a little tiny slipstream. Oh, alright. Go. Into the hairpin. Split. 41.2. Little bit of traffic from that V-carb. ART. Little bit of slipstream though at least. From Mr. Christian. And go. Go the way. Move! What are you doing? Hey! Ref! Beep! Ref! Block him, I dare you. Send it on him. I did that once. Someone blocked me like that. And I just sent it on him. And it took him out. You should have done that as well. Well, TRT are on their way. Mr. Kavagis is 56 thousandths up. Thank you, Varun. Well, I mean, there's a reason for that. Well, I won't go into it now. Mr. Kavagis into the final corner. How much is full send? Alright, cool. Well, across line. Is it going to pay off? It is Monsieur Kavagis. 108.123. Goes fastest of anyone. His teammate Tristan Janssen has had some problems. So has Lucas Basner. Speedy on his way. Is he going to be speedy or not? We'll find out after Monsieur Axel crosses the line. Final corner. And across the line for Axel. Goes for fastest ahead of Speedy, but Speedy is a tenth and a half up into chicane. Send. Not well, it was decent. It was fair. Across the line, 6th back ahead of Axel. Demis Kamensky has gone 5th, by the way, and Tristan has gone second fastest. Just looking around to see if anyone's back on the lap. Wiggly is 2/10 up. Out of the hairpin. Is that Benjamin? He's not up. So Wiggly. Not Wiggly. Wiggly. Is 12th for now. Final corner. Fair. Cross line. Goes 7th. Ahead of Monsieur Axel. Alright. But. Problem. Well, Tierson's on the way actually. I was about to say the last. Now JST has gone to 3rd. Just 1,000 behind Tristan. But Marcel Papt has not got a lap on the board yet. This is crucial stuff then for TF10. We've got to get the lap in. JST has just done that, but now it's Marcel's turn. And if he doesn't get a lap in, then he'll be extremely compromised for that last run. think this is already his last one, actually, with his last soft. But we'll see. Marcel Papt on his way through the middle sector. Are they going to do a little slip Schmidt TF10? No, they're not. Alright. Good, because it's not so loud, I think. 90% sure it's not loud. Alright, hairpin time. Another hairpin. Did I get 3? Alright. Evening, Adam. How are you, mate? Marcel Papt on his way. Into the last corner. Crucial, not invalidate. Right, doesn't invalidate. On the run to the line. Across the line. Goes for fastest. TF10 now 3rd and 4th. Remind you, we're fighting Tess, who are 5th and 7th currently. Good, Brony. I'm fine for now. Quite excited about this one, to be fair. With the race that's incoming, apparently some wet stuff is coming down from the sky, according to a certain GSR driver. Alright, well, no one on laps, I don't think. Nope. So, yeah. Let's see. How's Mr. Maxwin going? Alright. We might get Maxwin for the race. So my voice might be saved, you guys. Although Monsieur Sinan JR hasn't got a lap on the board either. 3 minutes and a half to go. Needs to get this lap. Otherwise, he is a bit dead. And you don't really want to be dead, do you? Whoa! Ref! 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 You cannot do that. Naughty boy. But anyway. Well, my good stars. On his way. Alright, let's go. Car number 9. Has he invalid? No. That's not this next. That was from before, wasn't it? Alright, let's go. Ooh, bit of traffic. Attention. Attention. That's going to definitely put him off a bit. Alright, on the power. And he's backed off. Yeah, great. Well, we'll watch JST then because he's much more important. Sorry, but yeah. Letting through Red Bull, even though there's cars ahead of him, I think JST is probably the man to watch. Sinan's cooked, yeah. It might be over for blood, mate. It's not looking good, bruv. Well, I'll go on board with Monsieur JST for this last run. Rennie, Klein, Simon and Benjamin have started their lap. Meanwhile, JST into turn number 1. Nicely in the limits, getting on the power now. Looks clean. Ooh, traffic. Traffic, 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 traffic! Oh, yo, 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 yo. Who was that? That was Monsieur Carvergis. Monsieur Carvergis, you cannot do that, Chief. And has completely blocked Monsieur JST. Yeah. Monsieur Carvergis, you're going to get a penalty with that, Chief. One of your cars might not do qualifying next time. But we'll go with Rennie Klein. Because why not? He is 10th and a half up. Oh no, Rennie! Rennie, he's invalidated. And he would have been an 8.3. Ay. That's not good for Rennie. He's going to be at the back of the grid. Well, not the back of the grid, but almost at the back of the grid. You get the point. Lucas Besner is on his way. He's 2.5 tenths up after Sector 1. That is absolutely massive, but has backed out. Yeah, rip. So's Dennis as well. Dennis is not going to get another lap, though. Okay. Well, Marcel and JST have gone again. Well, JST's gone again, but Marcel's, gone for it. Well, JST, it's okay, sector 1. It's a couple thousandths up. Ooh, no, big slide. That's not good. One of the McLarens has backed out. I think that might be Tristan. Oh, there's 2 Tristans. Hey! There's 2 Tristans! I just realised. And they're both fast as well. Well, JST's a bit, that slide. Yeah, no. Might have cooked him a bit. Well, we'll see how's Marcel doing. No idea. But probably well. Well, I'll say Tristan for Tristan de Couberou. No, that's not what I say. Derbecourt. And Tristan Janssen for the TRT one. Well, Marcel perhaps on his way. Final corner. Run to the line. JST's improved still, by the way. And Marcel's improved up to third now, 2-3 for the TF10s. And Monsieur Carver Guise goes fastest with a 7-9. First man into 7s. Tristan was the one to back out. Sinan's gone 15th and all of that. And I think that's it. It might be 1 or 2 just finishing their laps at the back. Yatchu, I don't know, 16th. Rene 17th. Mate, he's better in English than his bloody driving. Come on. Well, Monsieur Carveguis on pole position then with a 7-9, 2 tenths clear of anyone else. Second is TF10's JST. Third, Tristan. Fourth, Marcel. And fifth, Tristan. 6th and 7th. 6th for the TES or test drivers. Jake Stewart 8th, Speedy 9th, and Wiggly in 10th. And Monsieur Washed British in 17th, Rennie Klein. I had to do it. I had to do it. It was inevitable. It was in October 25, yes. But it was inevitable, right? Moving on. It's race time. And I'm going to make sure my settings are right. So take a short break. Wiggly has left the session. Oh, but I can close Discord, of course. That might help with the screen freezes, gents. I will just do that. And make sure in settings I have game mode's not on as well. Well, we're back. And it's been announced that Monsieur Carveguis is getting the death penalty, unfortunately, for that incident with JST. Yeah. You heard that right. The death penalty. He is, on the guillotine. Dead. I'm just going to check F1 because, I don't actually see anything that's happened. No, what is this? Oh dear. And we're waiting to get going. Evening, Monsieur Andrea, in the chat. Winner of the Premier tier on Wednesday, just ahead of Fana Spinoda. I think that was 19 thousandths actually, so he just hung on to the win. And Monsieur Ward's also in the chat for the big TF10. TF10 invading the chat, it seems. Apart from Andrew. Good. Ward is RSC. I completely forgot about that. I ain't even in TF10. Well, why'd you... It's confusing. Says he TF10, 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 TF10 everywhere. Change it, man. There's someone probably really in TF10. It's Monsieur Matthias. But too lazy. Well, yeah, no. I meant to give the go. Oh, shit. Well, I forgot I was kind of directing the race. And I need to say go at some point. But, right. Predictions in chat. Whoever's going to win the race. And here we come. Well, 1 light's not come out. Well, 4 lights. Now 5 lights. Alright. Alright. Good launch from Monsieur Carnegie ahead of JST. And that's pretty much the only thing I saw. It's going to be Carnage back. I can already tell. Let's just look at the back of it. Here is JNR, who's 19th, sending it away, and a little bit of contact, but obviously we need to go back to the front because Monsieur Marcel Papt, and here comes Dennis Kamensky into sick with Marcel Papt almost being on the grass, careful, and here comes Monsieur Jake Stewart on his way to claim P number 6, and that's an advert. Well, all 3 wide, and Dennis has got a cut. And Dennis just cut the... Well, great. Oh, someone's sending it. Oh, that's Ferrari. Wait, J9, I don't have to send it for 18th like that. Well, there's possible race strategies a second time. Because the game had to... Oh, lo. And that's Dennis. Second warning for Dennis. Be careful, big boy. That's not going to work out in the end if you do that too often. Lap 2:35, and I believe Dennis already on 2 warnings. Well, yeah. Well, there's your places gained and lost. Lucas Bassner has actually gained 2 positions. Marcel Papt has lost 2 positions. Joaquin Wigley is fighting away with Rene Klein for 14th. I have to go manually down because my keyboard won't let me. And here is Rene Klein, who's made 3 places, and Wigley, who's lost 5 places. And, yeah. Ideal. Well, let's go to tyres, because obviously everyone wants to know the tyres. And there we go. Rene Klein is on the hard. Joaquin Wigley on the hard. Yachu on the hard. Christian Eder is, well, having sex with the Ferraris, it seems, in the hairpin. Well, here comes Sinan. Oh! Well, Christian's just had to cut the... Okay. Well, Max rings my DMs now. Having what with the Ferraris? Well, you see, to make a baby F1 car, also known as the F2 car, there has to be some sort of process, no? Anyway, Carnegie leads ahead of JFT. We will be taking a short break in a few moments' time. Probably not an advert break. A break of a minute, because I need to actually open Discord again, share screen with Monsieur Max Ring, who's going to be in with us to co-commentate, because, you know, I am lonely for the time being. And I'm not going to do 35 laps. And, yeah. I think Jake Stewart might have just... Christian might have damage, you think? Potentially. Can't you invite him to lobby? Ah, well... Yes, but, I don't know. Maybe. I'll ask him that. There we go. Well, Christian edit. He doesn't have damage. Right. Let's see what Max Spring responds. I've asked him, can he join the lobby? Instead. Because, you know. Oh. Well. Carnegie still leads, by the way. Like a go. Dennis Kamensky with a 3 second. It had to happen. Of course, it was coming. And Mr. Speedy on his way. No. Well, that's very late braking from Dennis and very early braking from Speedy. But anyway, I need to join the VC. What is it for game night? We're doing Among Us, mate. As per usual. Well... You're in night, though. JST going for lead. And he's not got it. JST remains in second. Let me join. I'm bored. Among Us later. Sure, why not? I just got to check what's so... Oh. Axel with a 3 second already. Well, Zuti and Christian Erde fighting away for 16th and 17th. I'm just... Well, we'll do this lap. Take the quickest break possible because, well, mostly JST, he's going for the lead here. I don't want to miss this, you know. If he doesn't go for it, I'll quickly change. Well, he's not going for it, so we're going to quickly change. Alright, I'll be literally 2 seconds. I need to open Discord and go into VC start screen sharing. That is, you know, how quickly I'm going to be. Alright. Bang. Bang. Share my screen. Bang. Right. And I can't hear Max String. That's great.
I'm here.
I can hear now. Alright.
Alright, hello everyone. I'm here. The CoCom stream is on. It seems to be quite an interesting race so far now.
Oh yeah, it seems. Oh, we've got a yellow flag in the back. What's this about then? Got a car. Yeah. He's got any damage? I'm trying to look. Don't think he does. Right. Well, Christian Ere, meanwhile, has gone to the pits while I was having a small technical break. He's fighting away with Zuti, I believe. Some pistols on the way, though. Monsieur Dennis Kamensky and Monsieur Marcel Pabst in the pits. It's huge.
This is actually quite a crucial point of the race. I'm going straight into the pit stops that happen. And Junior now picking up a 3-second time penalty to add to his misery after that spin. That's not going to go well with the AMS camp, as we see Paps, Kaminsky, and also Speedy all come in to pit lane, and they're now on the pit lane exit. This is a crucial undercut stage here, isn't it, Niall? Especially for Kaminsky and Paps to see how high up the order they can go, and can they rival those front runners? That will be the question. Of course, in the championship, it's Thomas Inga Sim versus TF10, so this is a very crucial battle between them as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is Dennis Kamensky's best chance to get back ahead of Marcel Pabst here, or get past in the first place, I think. But yeah, if he can get past, this is a huge for the championship, and when he gets back in the DRS of the others, it'll be huge as well. Let's see then. Is anyone going to dive? I'm sure they will. Carl de Gies in. That's Lucas Bessner also in. Alright. 2 significant pit stops here. Let's go.
Let's see where they come out in relation to Pabst and also Dennis Kaminsky. Of course, Kaminsky having that time penalty will not do him all worlds of good come the end of this race. Going to have to pray for the others to join him on that front. But Lucas Basner and Verghese now just both trundling down pit lane. You can see Kaminsky there just on the shot in the background. And Verghese comes out well clear just in front of Sinan Jr. And that is probably the best result there for TRT and Cole Verghese, being out in front of the traffic and having some nice clean air to push into, to hunt down JSD as well, to reduce that deficit and hope he gets held behind Beta, as Pabst now picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's crucial in his battle with Kaminsky. He's actually also dropped now behind Speedy, so potential issues coming the way of Pabst down in 16th.
Yeah. Is absolutely massive for Monsieur Carvegis to not get held up in traffic, as actually JNR is letting everyone go. Boo, boring. But, well, here comes Marcel Pabst with the inside. That's also crucial then. JST into the pits, though. Alright. But, yeah, with Carvegis, this is his race to lose now. Clean air. Almost clean air behind Benjamin, but, like, yeah. Everyone else is stuck, so yeah. Let's see where Monsieur JST comes out.
Very much a crucial stage to this race, as we see JSD now travelling down the pit lane, now onto pit exit. Where is he coming out in relation to both the Thomas Enger drivers as well, just in front of Lucas Baser, and that is also crucial in the TF10 and Thomas Enger sim battle. Of course, TF10 trailing Thomas Enger by 11 points, all in that squabble, and these could be some very crucial moments at the start of this race. Lap 10 of 35, still a long way to go. He's just stuck behind Benjamin now at the moment is JSD, but Carl Verghese can use this clean air, use that JSD and Co are stuck into that traffic to just break away more and more each lap. But surely you think up into the hairpin, SD's going to get this move done.
And he's not. He's not willing to take that risk on a much slower car, but easily on the exit than before even the DRS opens. Easily past Benjamin here, and it's crucial now for the 2 Thomas Enger drivers to get past Benjamin if he doesn't pit. Well, one of them's got past Lucas Bessner already ahead, and well, Benjamin's not pitting, so Dennis Kamensky switched back through that wall of champion corner. I forgot what it actually called. Chicane maybe, I don't know. But Dennis Kamensky then into P8, and everyone else following really behind. Benjamin losing a lot of places. I don't know why he's staying up for so long, unless he's doing a one-stop, which is not normal, I don't think. On the grass. Where has he gone? Hey, he's in the wall! Well, Benjamin's in the wall.
That's a rookie error. That is a very much a rookie error. Up into turn 3. Unfortunately, I think he's missing his front wing as well now. So staying out was certainly not the call from VRM there. He's missing part of his front wing, and he's now going to have to get that one all the way back to pit lane and now pray for a safety car to happen. if he wants any chance of re-emerging back in a good spot in this race and fighting his way out the field. Tristan's been able to get past Jake for 9th and 10th. So TRT now with both cars up into that top 6. So this could be, actually no, top 5. So this could be quite good for them, as for Geese giving a little wiggle, trying to get past Jatchu. They're potentially unhappy with how the Red Bull handled that. So for Geese, potentially a little bit angry with the Red Bull man, but he's still got a healthy 2-second lead. But he goes deep into turn 1, potentially got on the grass onto the entrance. That's really cost him a little bit of time to JSC behind. What Figgies has to do here now is just keep his head, keep his cool, and he should just be able to manage that gap against SD. But of course, he's now coming under this traffic. It's going to be difficult to navigate.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Joaquin Wigley and Rennie Klein. They're not going to let him go easily. I think Rennie might do, actually, but Joaquin might not. I'm hearing from chat, apparently you're very quiet, so I'm just going to very quickly go and turn you up, because, you know, why not? All right. Should be good.
Hopefully, I'm now louder for you, ladies and gentlemen. I did also try to twiggle with some of my Discord settings, as Verghese is now going for that move on Jacqueline Wigley. Now heading down into the Water Champion chicane. Nicely done from there, as Rene Clean now picks up a 10-second time penalty on that alternate strategy. Unfortunately, that's going to drop him all the way further down the order. And that gap between SD and Verghese, now the Red Bull of Wigley is in the way. It's going to be about 2 seconds. It's coming down that gap, Niall, but will it come down by enough by the time we reach that next pit stop phase?
It might do, you know. I mean, yeah. JST with 1 lap fresher tyres. Tristan has just gone past Yachi. That's another crucial overtake potentially for the race and TRT's race itself. I mean, now JST, yeah. Oh, well, there we go. JST. Oh, can't do that too many times. I think that's a track limit there. So, right, got to get past now on this first straight. Not the second one. This one should be easily done, and it should be. DRS open.
DRS open.
Yep.
And look at that, breezes by as easy as you like. SD well set up there. And also now here, Niall, this then gives him that DRS down that second straight. A little bit more time found to Carl Verghese. Potentially by the end of this lap, we could see him break that 1 second margin as we see Wigley come in to pit lane. And that gap just teetering on that 1 second margin. Is he going to do enough by the end of this lap to get into that DRS window? He's dropped both Baszler and Kaminsky behind. So this is all just between Verghese and SD for now, as Junior's actually retired in the pit lane. Unfortunate to see. And SD now within a second.
Yeah, huge, massive, more massive than the low taper fade this. Oh, it's going to go out though. Oh, it's going to be close. 9/10. Oh, got to get it pushed. Normally it should be fine. 8/10, 9/10. It should be fine. Splits there. So, right, easy. I think Dennis Kamensky's had a spin, you know. Dennis Kamensky, what have you done? Or allows now Tristan into 4th. Jake Stewart's now up to 5th with no penalty. He's in a good position. But Dennis now back down to 8th with the 6 second. It's not looking good, Brev, for Tess in their fight with TF10. That might hurt.
It's certainly not looking good at all. As you can see, SD now trying to squabble away with Carl Verghese. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him sit behind for a little while, just to get these tyres into a nice rhythm and go for an attack near the end, as Marcel Paps was able to get past Stewart into turn 1 as well. But as we head through the turns 3 and 4 chicane, now into turn 7, it'll be late on the brakes into here, down to probably around about 4/4 third gear. Slowly bring that power back up on the exit as well, as you then open up the DRS down this short little back straight. Not really an overtaking opportunity, but a perfect opportunity to get closer before the hairpin and that long run into the Water Champion chicane. Will SD be able to get it done and go for it this time around, or is he still just going to wait patiently behind?
Oh, I think he's easily going to go for it. You know, 4.5 tenths. We saw early in the race it was 6 tenths of gap out of the hairpin, but now it's on the 410s, should easily breeze by Monsieur Carvigis on this back straight, and he does with absolute ease. And the chicane ahead. New leader, everyone. Monsieur JST has taken the lead. And the question now is, can he drop Carvigis? He looks much faster on the fresher tyres. So let's see, can he do it? And also, Lucas Bessner is slowly but surely catching up to these lot. He's just lost a bit in the chicane. But he was 1.1, I believe, that before. So, yeah. It's getting back tight again at the top.
It certainly is indeed. Of course, that traffic was a big factor in why the gaps are so huge. And Dennis Kaminsky now picks up an extra 3-second time penalty. He goes from bad to worse for the Thomas Enger Sim driver. And he's now got 9 seconds, nearly as much as Rene Kling did for speeding in the pit lane. So for Dennis, he can't even serve this penalty. It's going to be doom and gloom come the end of this race. You would think potentially not even going to be scoring too many points. And with TF10 having both cars currently on circuit in the top 5, this is not looking good for Thomas Enger. And this could be the changing point in the season as we get to that near halfway stage. And we're now looking at potentially seeing TF10 take a stronghold after this race here in Canada. Is under pressure now from Tristan Debouquois as Dennis Kaminsky as we head down into the All the Champions chicane. Is the Alpine going to get the move done as he looks to the inside line? Just had to back out of his. Kaminsky cut across the front wing, and the Aston Martin just stays in front for now. But look at that with the battery.
Absolutely flew past, did Tristan there. That was incredible. Dennis is disconnected, and I don't know how to invite him. Well, someone has to invite him. Don't think I have him added. Well, that's a problem.
Oh, that. It when it rains, it pours, doesn't it now?
Oh, yeah.
For Kaminsky, it certainly does. And unfortunately for the Thomas Enger driver, after just picking up that extra 9, how do you know? It may have been a rage quit because he got overtaken that easily down the straight. Only joking, but yeah, unfortunately there for Kaminsky, he's going to be falling down the order at a rate of knots. I think the AI is still at a decent level, so you don't lose too much time, but you still certainly do suffer. As Debouquois has actually also made it past Speedy. He is a man on a mission at the moment in that Alpine, and next on his list will be Jake Stewart.
Yep, Tristan with the much fresher tyres. 4-lap fresh tyres or even 5-lap fresh tyres compared to those around him. I'm trying to see if Dennis can get back in or if he needs an invite because I'm not sure about it. But anyway, Lucas Bessner doesn't seem to be gaining so much anymore in front too, so it could be JST and not Tristan, Carvigis fighting till the end, but it is still 1.6. Anything can still happen. If they start jostling for P1 too much, they will invite Lucas Bessner in the party, which is certainly not what JST wants. However, Carvigis getting back close again slightly to JST. We could see another overtake on the back straight.
We certainly could, of course. It doesn't seem too difficult to follow at the moment here in Canada. It seems to be quite an easy track to be able to keep with that car in front. If anything, you want to be that car behind because you get so much slipstream, you get all that DRS. It's really difficult for the car behind you just to shake you off. As actually, something's happened to Lucas Baser as he's now been overtaken by Tristan Janssen as TRT are having an absolutely brilliant time of things at the moment. A 2-3 as it currently stands, and the potential for a 1-2 on the card. So for TRT, this will do them a world of good in their championship as Marcel Paps now gets overtaken by Tristan Debouquois for that 5th place. He will be next to try and hunt down Lucas Baser as well. But for TRT, in an extremely good position at the moment. The only issue they now have, though, Niall, is the fact that one car will have to box after the other. But the good thing is that Carl Vergees is the one on those older tyres. So the car that is ahead will have the opportunity to pit first as Kaminsky is finally back in the lobby.
Yeah, this is not looking good at all from Kaminsky after disconnecting and 9 seconds of penalties. This is looking very, very grim for him and the test team. A lot of penalties coming in now. Axel getting a penalty. Show gap to leader. There you go. So yeah, Oh, we're going very wide. Dennis struggling a lot on his re-entry back into the lobby. I think the AI might have done some things that it doesn't like. Is Lucas Besner going to have a go? I don't think he will into Tristan. Turn number 1. No, he's not. But these two are now losing to the top 2, which is not ideal. But 15 laps to go. Anything can still happen, you know. Still, yeah.
Anything certainly could still happen. It's a very long way to go in this race, and of course a late safety car could cause some drama, and we still have another pit stop surely in this race. So still potentially some traffic and also some team games could come into effect. And that could be potentially here, Niall, where Kamensky gets involved. Of course, he's well out of that picture for the race victory or potentially scoring some big points. So if, say, JSD comes out a little bit behind Dennis Kamensky, he could help his teammate of Lucas Baster and just hold up SD. That's just a little option that could be found from, of course, being a team event. And the two drivers being separated by quite a margin, as Baster getting closer to the back of Tristan Janssen, who's actually dived into pit lane, so he's pulled the trigger earlier than his teammate Verghese, as Marcel Paps picks up another 3-second time penalty disaster for him, as that puts him up to 6 seconds. But the McLaren driver into pit lane, is that an attempt to undercut SD and Verghese, but also make sure TRT secure this double podium?
Yeah, this is a huge moment in the race for TRT. Tristan in the pits. Should be out. Oh, is he going to be out ahead of Zuti? Easily. But yeah, now go if you're Tristan, because you now need to do full push to try get back with the top 2 once they pit. Yes, you'll have all the tyres, but you know, you'll have DRS, and that's a complete game changer in his race. He's just got to be wary of Dennis Kamensky, however, as you're saying, maybe doing a favour for his teammate who's currently up into 3rd. But is he going to offer DRS to Tristan? He is, you know. He might. Oh no, just not. I think he's just out of it. Is Tristan, so he won't get the DRS this time round. I don't think. But Carl Verghese into the pits though, huge.
Yeah, TRT in again, this time with the sister car as Baisner also dives into pit lane. So SC staying out for one more. We saw this in the last stint from TF10. They stay out that little bit longer, and it just then all plays out potentially into the TF10 driver's hands. But where does Verghese come out in relation to his teammate of Janssen as we now exit out of the pit lane? And Kamensky did hold up Janssen ever so slightly through turns 1 and 2 and squeezing him onto the grass as we head into turn 3. To the inside goes Janssen, Kamensky over the grass. That was very hard, but fair racing from the pair of them, and the TRT driver is just able to squeak by. But Kamensky really did put in that effort to try and hold up Janssen for Lucas Baster. But in all of this, Baster has actually, I think, dropped off more from Janssen than he would have liked. Of course, that undercut working into the TRT driver's favour. And for Lucas Baster, he's just having now to push on into that McLaren's DRS as Wiggly gets overtaken by Verghese up at the hairpin. Brilliant stuff to navigate that traffic there for Carl Verghese as SD is into pit lane. Will both McLarens jump him, or will he see himself ahead?
I think he'll be behind both McLaren. That's a bug. But there we go. Yeah, I think he'll be behind both McLarens here. Will Monsieur GST, but he'll have the fresher tyres, which will help him boost ahead easily. Even if it's just 2-lap fresh tyres, you know, but it's massive still. And he might actually be ahead of Tristan, you know, and he is. Unless Tristan sends it, which I don't think he will. Tinans get 10 seconds and retires. Tristan, a little bit of understeer with dirty air here, but should be fine for him. Penalties, I'll do that real quick. There we go. So yeah, a whole host of penalties, however, from P8 down to P16. JST clears Wiggly easily, and Wiggly, I think, lets past also Tristan. But this is huge now for Tristan. Can he get past JST? If he can, it's TRT's race to lose. If he can't, well then, yeah, GG. Little send there from Lucas Baisner, almost going into the back of Tristan, but Should be fine. No worries there. But yeah, Marcel Paps with 6 seconds though. Yeah, yellow flag. I think I just retired car, but Marcel Paps 6 seconds. Well, meanwhile, Denis Kamensky in 14th with 9 seconds, you know, but like, it's not looking very good for, well, one of both teams, I suppose. One rather from both teams then.
Yeah, it really is at the moment a shootout between Bajner and Esti, and Jay just having that upper hand at the moment. Of course, TRT sit third in the constructors' standings. They're 168 points behind Thomas Engersim, though, so it could still be fought back, especially with a good result here this evening. This double podium can reduce that deficit by quite a chunk. But still a long old way behind. TRT will need to keep this form up and pray for the form of TF10 and Thomas Engersim to just drop a little bit more over the course of the rest of the season. If they want any chance of winning the championship, it is really all down to Thomas Enger and TF10 for that title as we head up into the hairpin. Christian now picks up a free second time penalty as well. That puts him up to 9 alongside Denis Kamensky in 15th and 16th places respectively. As at the front of the field, JSD still trying to hunt down Carl Vergeese, but he's going to get a little bit of slipstream and potentially some DRS on this lap from Rene Clean in front. So it all ebbs and flows with the traffic as we're about to as we got 11 laps to go in this Grand Prix.
Fastest lap from Monsieur, I think that was JST for a moment, 1:11.111, taken away by Marcel Paps with a 1:11.0, I think I saw. Tristan with 3 seconds. Well, it's not going to hurt him too much. You might get him off the podium, but that's ruined any chance, really, of, you know, getting that win. Which JST actually might get close now to Carl Vergeese, because Carl Vergeese is stuck behind his friend Rene Klein, which has allowed JST to get that DRS. Ula with Tristan, with Lucas Bassner. Marcel Paps lingering in the background. Rene Klein clears the way for Carl Vergeese. Denis Kamensky with now 12 seconds and out of the points as well. It's disaster as Rene Klein comes into the pits for the second time. But yeah, it's disaster here for Denis Kamensky.
Yeah, big disaster for Kamensky. It's just all gone completely wrong for the Thomas Enger driver, and he just needs to now try and work back into that favour and potentially just try and at least get up the order and potentially get some of those penalties removed if he can, and see how he goes from there. But it's certainly been a doom and gloom race, a race to forget from Denis Kamensky. As we see here, JSD under some pressure from Tristan Janssen, but of course Tristan having that 3 second time penalty is going to cost him dearly in the battle for the podium. But he could also just throw SD off a little bit. If he gets in front, he can just allow Vergeese to build that gap and allow him to just be able to shoot off into the distance and not worry about losing this race victory. Of course, Tristan Deboucois is still out on the circuit. He's on much younger tyres, well, was on much younger tyres than the rest of the field. So could we potentially be seeing here, Niall, a one-stop from Mr. Deboucois to try and get a podium? That gap 6.2 seconds. It is coming down, but with a total of 9 laps to go, still plenty to play for.
With 14 lap old tyres and 8 laps to go, or 9 laps to go, I can't tell. It is going to be a super long stretch for Monsieur Tristan here. I don't think he's going to do it personally. I think he's going to have to come in again. Potentially even this lap he'll come in for a medium, potentially, set of tyres. I'll be surprised if he goes on to hard from here, obviously. So I think he'll go on medium. Whether he'll go back in the fight, I think he'll be easily in top 10, of course. Not sure. I mean, it's not got a penalty, which is going to help him massively. Denis Kamensky, fastest lap, by the way. But Tristan here, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the pace of the mediums compared to the used hards. Or not very used hards, I suppose. But well, let's see if he comes into pits this lap. Doesn't.
Stays out.
Right.
Goes for one more.
Or maybe into the end. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. Jake Stewart back past Speedy for P7. Good result here from ART. But yeah, we'll have to see what he does.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Tristan, though, because in that last lap he lost a second to Carl Figis. And at that rate, they'll catch him well before the end of this race. But of course, these guys could all start squabbling amongst themselves. So it's all going to be down to a game of fate at the moment for Tristan Debouquois. That gap now 4.7. We need to keep an eye on that to Carl Figis behind, because it could start to increase the amount that they are gaining onto him. Of course, only on 6 and 5 lap old sides respectively from Figis and JST. Whereas Tristan Debouquois has got a whole 10 laps on the pair of them, 15 lap old hards, and just watch the timer just tick down, especially through this hairpin. It's such a crucial traction point. It's now 4.3. It was 4.5 going into that hairpin. They found 2 tenths out of the corner as we head down into the Water Championship. Right. I don't think they found as much this time around. Debouquois got a bit more of a cleaner lap as Speedy's able to get past Jake Stewart, the Haas driver, having a lovely race at the moment as they try to hunt down Paps in front. Debouquois just trying to hold on steadily as we start. 7 laps to go here in Montreal.
If Tristan manages to even get a podium from here, it'll be one of her drives of the season, I'm sure, because this, with 16 lap old hards at a track that most people do 2 stops. In fact, everyone pretty much has done a 2 stop here tonight, apart from his teammate who's actually last. But it'll be something impressive, I think, if he can get to the end with these tyres and hang on to a good position. Meanwhile, Marcel Pat, I'm sure it's been for a while, but he's now well into the pack and the DRS of Lucas Besner and Tristan Janssen. Tristan Janssen almost losing a bit of touch with JST. As actually, Lucas Besner might have a run on him, into this back straight. DRS are now open for both drivers. But is Lucas going to go for it, JST, meanwhile, goes for it on Carver Geese, and JST now leads the pack. But now here can... Oh, that's not a good exit. Can Masterpap capitalise? I don't think so. But JST now is the leader of the pack. Tristan stays up for another lap. But JST is now ahead of Carver Geese. That is huge for the fight with Tess.
It certainly is indeed. Also with having 2 cars in between himself and Baszler. Of course, Janssen has that penalty. But if the Thomas Inga sim driver picks one up as well, it will be a 4th place finish potentially at the best. But Debouquois, that gap now 2.5. It really is starting to come down between the Alpine and the chasing pack behind. Of course, 6 laps to go when we cross that line. It'll be 5 remaining. I just don't think he'll be able to hang on. It'll be a valiant effort no matter what. But it just seems that the Alpine's chances, his hopes, are slowly fading out. They're slowly dwindling as the corners, as the meters of circuit tick by. And that gap now 2 seconds as we exit out the hairpin. There's a yellow flag. This could be quite crucial if there's a safety car. Axel causing that yellow flag. Unfortunately, those safety cars are being the saving grace for Tristan Debouquois. For Axel, he's able to keep it going once more as that gap just teeters on the edge of 1.5.
Tristan's lost some positions here. He's now down to 6th. Marcel Paps has snuck by, and I believe Lucas Besner has also snuck by, and up to P4 then for Lucas. This is good for the championship. As Tristan actually gets a second. Axel also now with another 3 second, but a lot of penalties coming through this race. But JST is now in a DRS. And it might be over for Tristan here, or Tristan.
I don't think it's been more over, to be fair. Tristan, unfortunately for him, I think his time at the front of the field is going to come to an end very, very shortly. We'll just be able to see the traction difference they get out of the corner. 6 tenths is that gap, and it drops down to 5, and that slipstream now going to be kicking in. DRS open for JST as he chases down the Alpine. He needs to get it done now if he wants to keep that car in between himself and Carl Vergeese, but no, actually elects to sit behind does JST, not wanting to go for it just yet. I thought he would want to get by and allow Debuquar to hold up hold up Verghese, but he's actually going for it now into turn 1. Potentially some strategy involved into that one to make sure the McLaren wasn't able to see himself through, as Esti now hits the lead of the race once more, and that's crucial for TFN. Oh, it says contact! Debuquar into the wall off the road, and Verghese with nowhere to go. Debuquar with a late defence, and the VRM driver, his valiant effort has unfortunately come to an end.
And he's got damage as well. Now the question is, can he hang on to P8? That is huge disaster for Tristan there. That is so unfortunate, just hanging on, you know, with Carl Verghese behind him. And, you know, that might have changed completely the championship for TF10, because now Marcel Papt is out to P3. Carl Verghese does not have DRS, and suddenly, could it be a TF10 1-2 on the road here? Because Marcel Papt, I believe, has more than 3 seconds. In fact, he has 6 seconds of penalties. So I don't think Carl Verghese will finish behind him. But on the road, it's TF10 with a 1-2.
Amazing for TF10, and if Paps is able to break away here from Carl Verghese and make this a TF10 1-2, what a performance this would be. Potentially also here, no, I think we might have ruled this one out, but could JST allow Paps through and potentially allow him to build up that gap over the course of the next 2.5 laps? That's also a strategy TF10 could play to try and maximise their point score, because if Paps is able to build that gap, and even if JST finishes a highest of 3rd and gets overtaken by Verghese, it still means they'll get a double podium, and at the minute it's not looking likely for a double podium, and any points are crucial in this team's championship battle. So for TF10, they could potentially have that in their favour.
Oh, he's punctured.
I think he's got puncture. Yeah. Oh, it would never have lasted anyway. I think the spin didn't help. And unfortunately for Debuquar, it has gone from bad to worse. And that rear left puncture is going to see him tumble to the end of the order.
Disaster there for Tristan. Happy man is Monsieur Denis Kamensky here, because he can maybe get some points here. Maybe just pick up that last point spot. I'll be close with the penalties he's got, but you know, you mentioned about JST and Marcel Papt, and how JST could, you know, hold up effectively Carl Verghese. However, from memory, there is a rule that says you cannot do that. I think I learned it from this track itself a couple of seasons ago in Tier S in the AEC days, where you cannot just slow down others like that for your teammate. I don't think. I'll have to recheck that, but still, I think it'll be a solid P4 for Marcel Papt here if he can get on with it. He's actually gapped Carl Verghese, and this could actually allow effectively Lucas Bassner in all of this to get past Carl Verghese. We'll have to see if he does that on the final lap. I'm sure he's just recharging this lap, so he can absolutely go for it on this last lap against Carl Verghese. But yeah, final lap is approaching then after this last turn. Tristan is definitely out of it because he's last. Well, he's fighting with his teammate, ironically, for 16th and 17th. It's not good for them, but anyway, final lap. Here we go.
I didn't see anything in the rule book saying anything about slowing down your teammate, but they're not doing it anyway on TF10. And that gap, 2.3 seconds. Oh, he picked up another one. Marcel Papt has picked up another time penalty, and that could just see him fall a little bit further down the order. And unfortunately for Marcel, just like we saw in Hungary, it's all come unravelling right at the very end. But Carl Verghese, in his battle with Lucas Bassler, this is now crucial. It's 9 seconds between Paps. With that time penalty for Paps, it was 6 seconds beforehand. So he would have been able to break that gap on this final lap anyway. But we got a crucial battle as well between Verghese and Bassler. If Bassler's able to get this second place, that will really hurt TF10 in all of this. You can see Verghese weaving to try and break that toe. Basil will use all the battery he possibly can in that DRS, in the slipstream. He's got to look to the outside line into the World Champion chicane. He'll try and make the move around the outside. He makes it, sticking at the front of the field. It's Esti who wins here in Montreal. Spectacular drive from TF10. Basler will get that second place on the final lap, and that helps Thomas Enger in their battle with Thomas Enger. And this is now crucial for the championship, as Marcel Paps was still able to hold on to 4th place, even with that 9-second time penalty. It's Carl Verghese who gets on the podium for TRT as well. And then it's Speedy, Jake Stewart, Rene Clean, Wiggly, just about making it up into the top 10. And then it's Simon to round out that top 10 indeed. But a fantastic performance from SD and TF10. And they'll be quite disappointed that Basler was able to recover to second.
Well, let's see where Dennis Kaminsky will finish. I think he'll finish 15th then, out of the points, because when Axel gets reinstated, he'll be ahead of him. So no points for the second TES man. Lucas Basner home in second. Tristan fastest lap. It won't count for anything, however. But yeah, huge, massive from TF10 here. 1-4 to really throw that punch against Tess and Thomas Enger. This is not good for them at all. It's been a couple races now since TF10 have started to come back on Thomas Enger, but it's now, very, very, very close championship fight.
It certainly is. This championship will go all the way down to the wire. And of course, with that, it is going to be a total of 23 points gained in all for TF10 on Thomas Enger, and that now gives them the championship lead by a total of 12 points. So it was 11 points coming into this to Thomas Enger. It's now exiting with 12 heading the way of TF10. It's very close at the front of the field, and it just shows how one poor result from one of your drivers can really switch things up when it comes to the team standings.
Yeah. Huge here for TF10. Just getting results now, but yeah, Axe will be reinstated in 14th, so ahead of Dennis Kaminsky, so no points in effect for Dennis Kaminsky after that unfortunate disconnect and a little bit of abusing of track limits there, but that's not the important bit. Well, it is, but not the point. But that's it. That's it then for Canada. We welcome you back to Monaco, obviously, if you're on the stream. Max, you won't be able to see this, but we are back at Monaco, of course, on the stream room. Just give me 2 seconds. There we go. So yeah, we're back at Monaco. There was the standings heading into the race. It's Alex Santana ahead of Carl Verghese and Scott Holmes. So Carl Verghese, I believe, will easily now take the championship lead in the drivers' standings. But in the constructors' standings, as you said, it will be TF10 now leading the way ahead of Thomas Enger. Thomas Enger not having a great weekend at all. But yeah, top TF10 with such strong performances now, consistently across the whole season. It's now come back and take a lead. Okay. So yeah, that's the standings. Well then, that's it. Everyone, that's it.
Yeah.
That's been an enjoyable race. Thank you for joining me, Monsieur Max Ring.
Of course. Thank you for having me now.
Yep. Even if I made a small break to start, but it was worth it at the end because I think I would have lost my voice definitely if I did all of that by myself. Right. So next week, there is no racing. I know, it's terrible. Yeah, no racing next week, unfortunately, which is good because I'm not here anyway to stream. So yeah, no racing next week, and then we go to, if I just look, Brazil for round 11. Not a track I like personally, but what about you, Max Ring? Would you like Brazil?
Yeah, I think it's a fun track, especially to watch. It's quite fun. Racing, I'm not so good at, but of course, I've hung up my gloves anyway. I've hung up my boots, my helmet, everything. So Yeah, we don't worry about that. But yeah, it should be quite an interesting race actually. Of course, rain could play a factor into that one, so that could be a little bit of a shout. And then of course the racing itself, plenty of DRS, well, two DRS zones in the first sector. And overall, it just entices great racing. You've got a tight and twisty middle sector, and it all comes down to strategy as well. But you can certainly have at least 6 to 7 cars all squabbling it out on that final lap for the race victory. It's a brilliant circuit to watch and see all the battles that can happen.
Yeah, one of the classic tracks of Formula One then. And then round 12, Japan, another historic track. Not particularly so great for racing nowadays with the bigger cars, but it still produces a good one. Round 13, I believe that's Las Vegas, which, that's actually now a good track for racing. Now we've done some races there for a few years. I think Las Vegas is one to definitely look for if you're looking for a good bit of entertainment in the night. I'll be sure to stream that one from the comms box. And then we head to Italy. I don't know if that's Monza or Emilia Romagna. I believe that's Monza. But I'll check afterwards. Which is also chaotic. Both tracks, in fact, chaotic for racing. Less so Imola, of course. But yep. And obviously, got to round out with Abu Dhabi, to finish the entire season off under the lights.
Yeah. Brilliant track to end off the season, to make it under the lights as well, makes it a little bit more special too, doesn't it, Noel? And yeah, I think we've got a very interesting title battle to come for the rest of the season.
Yep. Well then, that's it from me. Anything you want to say, Max Ring?
Just thank you all for watching. This wouldn't be possible without you guys. Thanks to the drivers as well and the teams. And yeah, thank you for having me again, Noel, with the pretty much very last minute decision to come into the commentary box after coming home from work. But I thought I couldn't leave him by himself, especially around a 35 lap circuit. So yeah, thank you for having me.
And that's it. So we'll be seeing you in not next week, in 2 weeks. Thank you all, and goodbye.